Aaron Rodgers has just been traded to the New York Jets, and before we get into it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to be trying to upload NFL content as consistently as possible, so if you want to see that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this video to your friends and all that so we can continue to grow the channel. But it has just been reported Aaron Rodgers has been traded to the Jets, and the Jets will be getting Aaron Rodgers, pick number 15, a 2023 fifth round pick, which is pick number 170, and the Packers will be getting pick number 13, a 2023 second round pick, which is pick number 42, a sixth round pick, number 207, and a conditional 2024 second round pick that becomes a first if Rodgers plays 65% of the snaps this year. And this is huge. And before I really break it down, I just want to say that, Aaron Rodgers is my favorite player in the NFL. So I'm definitely biased towards him, but I feel that he's been extremely underrated by the NFL community, and people are really not understanding the implications that this could have on the entire NFL. As to me, this makes the New York Jets somewhat of a contender. I mean, I think the Chiefs are only really going to continue to get worse. And obviously, Mahomes has proved over and over again that he can do it with whoever. You saw the receiving core he just won a Super Bowl with. Travis Kelce is a great weapon, but, Scantling, Juju Smith-Schuster, these aren't great weapons to have on an NFL Super Bowl winning roster. So he can definitely do it, and he'll always be in the running every single year, just like Brady was. And I think he's going to be the hump you have to get over if you want to win a Super Bowl. But the Jets have a very good shot. First of all, just looking at the trade itself, to me, the Jets don't really get fleeced here. They got the number 15 pick, so the Packers really just moved up 2 spots, and the Jets just moved down 2 spots. So they're basically getting who they want this year, and they got a 5th rounder as well. So even though the Jets are getting 2 second rounders and possibly 2 first rounders, if Rodgers and the Jets roster plays to the potential that I believe they can, this is 100% worth it. And to me, like I said, if you look at both parties, things will only continue to be better. Garrett Wilson was able to put up the insane numbers he did this year, win Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, that is, with Mike White, Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, and not a whole lot of good QB talent on that roster. You're now bringing, whatever you want to say about him, you're now bringing elite quarterback talent, and Rodgers is coming off a year where he had the least amount of help in his NFL career by far. The defense was not that great, and on top of that, the weapons he had to throw to Romeo Doubs, Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, and he wasn't even there all the time. And we obviously know they had that great rookie season out of Christian Watson, but Christian Watson had a lot of problems with dropping the ball early on in the year, and he was a nice speedy threat, I guess, but he wasn't a really go-to guy, wide receiver type guy. And Garrett Wilson is exactly that. Now Rodgers is going to have somebody he can throw to on a play-to-play basis, and he's going to be that wide-out one. He has good speed, good big playability, and this is going to be a match made in heaven. As well as Breece Hall being in the backfield, and the Jets having an elite defense, Sauce Gardner, Quinn Williams, and it's only going to continue to get better from here. As well as Rodgers having a young roster, we all don't really know how long Rodgers is going to be still playing in the NFL, but Rodgers is going to be able to come in and have a nice, young, healthy core. And even if he plays 2 or 3 years, I think they're going to have a real shot at the Super Bowl. The way that the NFL is constructed right now, the top dogs are only going to continue to get worse, like I said. And in the NFC is really not that strong of a conference. Usually, when a conference has a huge power struggle, there is a team that ends up just emerging, like the Eagles did last year. And some teams did fall off, like the Buccaneers, stuff like that. But the Eagles came in, took that spot, and maybe the Eagles will continue to be the top dogs in the NFC. But the real challenge is in the conference. The Bills and the Jets on division are going to be tough. We know the Ravens have just got some weapons, and if Lamar comes back, they're going to be hard to deal with. Joe Burrow and the Bengals, obviously Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. The AFC is where the real competition is at. But I think the Jets have a real nice roster. And like I said, the Packers dealt with a lot of drops early on. Dobbs and Watson really had a problem with drops, as well as Allen Lazard not being a consistent go-to guy. He can't really be a wide-out one either. People also seemingly forget that Rodgers has been playing with a fracture since week 5. So the last 12 or 13 weeks of the season, he hasn't been fully healthy. And he still looked like a very good quarterback. He still looked very great in the first 5 weeks, but, I mean, he had to deal with a lot of drops. And he was throwing some bad balls occasionally, but it still looked like the Rodgers we had seen for 17 years. I mean, I just think that with all these weapons, accuracy is never going to be a problem with Rodgers. I think he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks and has some of the best anticipatory throws we have ever seen in NFL history. And so to me, as long as he has guys who can come down with balls, I mean, I think they should have no problem scoring a lot of points this year. And with a great defense, I really think they're going to be able to put something together that's extremely special. As well as the roster being able to be improved upon. And the Jets also have been touted as a team that does not really have a great offensive line. But if you really look at it, the Jets do not have a bad offensive line on paper. Elijah Vera Tucker is going to try and stay healthy. And if he can stay healthy, as well as Mekhi Becton, they're going to have a really nice offensive line, as well as being able to draft that center from Wisconsin. Don't remember his name. I'll put his name up. If they're able to get him, they're going to have a really nice offensive line. And Breece Hall is going to be able to run through tackles. He's only going to get better. And when you have such a young roster, your ceiling is just going to continue to go up. And I think eventually this year, even in year 2, as well as Allen Lazard coming in, they're going to have a lot of pieces. And they are going to be able to compete for a ring, in my opinion. And I feel like that's all I have to really say about the Jets themselves. But for Rodgers, like I said, Rodgers is my favorite player, so I am a little biased. But I think him being washed is a false narrative, and I can definitely admit that he did not make some of the throws that were routine to him for years, but he still put up 26 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, which is basically 2-1, and is still, I believe, in the top 10 in the NFL. As well as that being his down year with little to no wide receiver help, a solid run game that was improving through the year, but it was not great to begin the year as well. I mean, just problems all around and bad play calling. I mean, there was a lot the Packers dealt with last season, and I just feel like Rodgers is still a top 5 QB, and he can be a top 3. I mean, I feel like just last year, obviously, the way they lost the 49ers was, it was terrible. You shouldn't have gone out like that. You should have won that game. But, I mean, the special teams didn't come through. Obviously, Rodgers could have put up more points, for sure. There's no debate about that for me. But with the way that the Packers constructed their roster last year, it was just going to be hard to have any success. And they threw, I believe, they didn't throw games, obviously. But I feel like there were some games they really could have won. And at the end of the day, they didn't get it done. They didn't end up making the playoffs, but nobody really believed the Packers had the type of talent to win a Super Bowl regardless. And I think coming to the Jets, he has that type of help now. Hackett is a guy he's been comfortable with. He spent time in Green Bay. And I think they're going to be able to click. And as long as Garrett Wilson doesn't fall off a cliff somehow, and Breece Hall does anything close to what he did when he was healthy as a rookie, and obviously, I'm expecting him to improve. But even if he's just around what he was as a rookie, I mean, he's going to be an 1,000-yard rusher. He's going to be a big play guy as well. And I think the Jets just are going to be a scary roster on paper. And I'm not expecting a Super Bowl year 1, but I am expecting them to compete. And I'm expecting at least, honestly, in my opinion, 11 wins. That's going to be my very early prediction for this roster. I think they're an 11-win team. And I really think that they have the potential to do something special. If not in year 1, in year 2. And obviously, Rodgers, he's an aging guy. We don't really know how long he's going to be in the NFL. But to me, if they can stay healthy, Rodgers can be that guy he's been for all of his career except for last year. I have no reason to believe that the New York Jets will not be competing for a Super Bowl in the near future. But that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I know this wasn't the most thought out video. This is really just a reaction type of video, but let me know what type of videos you guys want to see me posting. I've been working on some videos, but I know I haven't been that consistent. I'm going to try and stay up on that. But if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.